Hey, Tim O'Donohue here with Relationship Store. Today I want to talk to you about how not to worry. So this current coronavirus, COVID-19 lockdown, the situation going on with the virus spreading through the world has caused a lot of fear and upset, understandably, in people. It's also a great time to practice mindfulness. And why is that? Because mindfulness, the whole idea of mindfulness is getting an idea of what you can change and what you have to accept and putting your mind in a place that brings you the most calm, the most ease. So mindfulness has very little to do with what we might call reality, about the objective reality going on around us. That's why it's such a beautiful thing to learn and to keep. And sometimes learning something in the most improbable of situations is the best way to learn it. And what I mean is right now, you might say, and understandably say, well, this is a real bad thing and this is serious and there's a lot to worry about. And I would agree with you. There is a lot to worry about. Only I would say there's a lot we could worry about. So with worry goes along with situations that seem ominous or scary to us that we worry. And the worry actually is our mind ruminating, thinking about it over and over. What if this? What if that? Oh my gosh, having these worry thoughts that often repeat in our head and can be very debilitating to us emotionally, psychologically, and physically as well. It can affect our health. So the worry part actually serves no positive benefit for you. The part of that can be beneficial is thinking through a situation. And so I want to separate for you those two things. So in any situation, we'll take this current situation, right? There are certain behaviors, thoughts that we can't control. So we know we want to be safe. We want to get a mask or some sort of something we can put over our mouth and nose when we go out. That even if you think that's not necessary, why not err on the side of caution? Do those sort of things. Wear gloves when you touch anything outside. Throw those gloves away after you do it. If you're pumping gas, if you're opening doors, because similar to the flu, you can pick it up on any surface or getting too close to somebody, as and they sneeze or they even yawn and something comes out, can infect you. So practice social distance. Wear the gloves. Wear the mask. Now beyond that, there's a lot of other worry thoughts that we can't control. How long is this going to last? Is there going to be a second round of it? Is there all those questions that are out there that we're trying to get answers to? That uncertainty causes us the unrest, the anxiety in us, which leads to worry. So I'm not saying that you're not going to have a worry thought. The key with mindfulness is to keep that control, that when you are having those worry thoughts, that you're aware of them and you practice mindfulness, which includes what I call radical acceptance. So the mindfulness is being aware of those thoughts. I'm worried, acknowledging that internally to yourself. So rather than fighting it, rather than thinking, well, I'm not going to worry, I'm not supposed to worry, so I'm going to push that thought away, that won't work. That actually might escalate it more on the one hand. And on the other hand, allowing your mind to go too much into the worry and, as I said before, ruminate on it will lead to not a good outcome either. So the middle ground is you acknowledge the thought, you acknowledge that, yeah, it makes sense I'm having this thought because it's a worrisome situation, yet I don't want my mind to stay on this thought, okay? And so pushing it away doesn't work, but replacing it with another thought, sometimes some visualization, like even if you picture that worry thought getting onto a sailboat and sailing down the river away, or if it's coming into a room and you're in the room and it's entered through one door, watch it enter out the other door. Bite of the worry thought, enter in a new thought, a new positive thought, something that you can actually focus upon, whether it's a positive memory or something you're going to do later, or just what's happening, just being present to what's happening now. Oh, listen to the birds chirp, or whatever it might be, to keep yourself in a present thought. And that's the beginning of mindfulness. Radical acceptance is accepting a situation for what it is and being okay within it. So for example, you might say now the preferred reality would be this virus is gone and my life is back to what it was, or better, or whatever it might be. That's our mind focuses on that and we think, gosh, I want it to be like that, and why is it like this? So we're fighting in our mind between a reality and an unreality. So you want to change that to right now, the virus is here, that's the reality. My choices become, can I be okay in that reality, or am I not going to be okay? And it might not seem like a choice, but this is where the mindfulness comes in, that you can over time begin to control your thoughts in a way that works best for you. And one way to think about this is, because a lot of times in the beginning there's resistance. Well, I don't want to think worry thoughts. I'm not doing it on purpose. I understand that. It's not about that. It's a learned way of thinking. But much like many times in our life, when we're little kids, our sibling might take our toy and we hit them. And mom says, use your words, don't hit. And over time, in the beginning, that message doesn't resonate. We're like, well, he took my toy. Of course I hit him. But over time, we learn a new way to think about the situation and a new way to respond. So if you think back in your life, there's many times where you've been maybe even certain about a way of thinking about something and then found more information that expanded your view of life and in a better way. So if you think like that, which is a great way to think, because that I believe is true throughout your life, that at any point you're at, there's always more awareness that you can have. And so this idea of radical acceptance of being okay in a not okay situation is really essential and a great way to think, because it gives you peace of mind. It calms your system that, okay, this is going on. I choose to believe that there will be an end. I choose to believe that I will take care during this time. I'm not going to stress myself about it and overthink things, but I am going to take the precautions. I'm going to be careful and be in the moment and find things to appreciate and enjoy each day. The other thing with things like radical acceptance and trying to change your thought is that you're not going to be very good at it at first, and your mind is going to fight you a little bit, say, oh, this is ridiculous, this doesn't work. But try not to give into that, because it's like most other things. If you started lifting weights and after a week said, well, I don't have big muscles like that guy in the gym, I'm going to give it up, that would be ridiculous, right? Because it takes time. If you're learning calculus, after a week, you're not going to know calculus. It's going to take time. So the same with this, with mindfulness, with radical acceptance. Practice it each day. Don't expect instant results, but I guarantee you over time, it will bring you results. If you want more information on things like this and other great tools for you, relationshipstore.org. Please, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel here. That allows me to get things like this out to even more people, which I think people appreciate. So thank you. Again, Tim O'Donohue, Relationship Store Counseling and Coaching Center. Take care.